Sam, Walter de la Mare. When Sam goes back in memory, it is to the sea. It is to where the sea breaks on the shingle emerald green in white foam endlessly. He says with small brown eyes on mine, I used to keep awake and lean from my window in the moon, watching those billows break, and 500,000 tiny hands and eyes like sparks of frost would dance and come tumbling into the moon, on every breaker tossed. And all across from star to star I've seen the watery sea, with not a single ship in sight, just ocean there and me. And heard my father snore, and once, as sure as I'm alive, out of those wallowing moon-flecked waves I saw a mermaid dive, head and shoulders above the wave, plain as I now see you, combing her hair, now back, now front, her 2 eyes peeping through, calling me, Sam, quiet like, Sam. Making believe I kind of thought 'twas someone else she meant. Wonderful, lovely, there she sat, singing the night away, all in the solitudeness sea of that their lonely bay. Perhaps, and he'd smooth his hairless mouth, perhaps if it were now, my son, perhaps if I heard a voice say, Sam, morning would find me gone. Leagues, leagues over the sea I shall sail, couched on a wallowing dolphin's tail. The sky is on fire, the waves are sheen, I dabble my foot in the billows green. In a seaweed hat on the rocks I sit, where turn and sea mew glide and beat, and where dark shadows in the cormorants meet. In caverns cool when the tides awash, I sound my conch to the watery splash. From out of their grottos at evening's beam, the mermaids swim with locks agleam. Straight from the moon to the shore where I'm sighing, grows a bright bridge made of wavelets and beams. Frail it may be, yet how simple the trying, wandering from earth to the orb of sweet dreams. What is yon face in the moonlight appearing? Have I at last found the maiden that fled? Out on the beam bridge my footsteps are nearing, her whose sweet beckoning hastens my tread. Currents surround me and drowsily swaying, far on the moon path I seek the sweet face. Eagerly, hasting, half panting, half praying, forward I reach for the vision of grace. Murmuring waters about me are closing, soft the sweet vision advances to me. Done are my trials, my heart is reposing, safe with my Unda, the bride of the sea. And his soul besought him to depart, but he would not, so great was his love, and the sea came nearer, and sought to cover him with its waves. And when he knew that the end was at hand, he kissed with mad lips the cold lips of the mermaid, and the heart that was within him brake. And as though the fullness of his love his heart did break, the soul found an entrance and entered in, and was one with him even as before, and the sea covered the young fisherman with its waves. Oscar Wilde. Hello everyone, it's Penny here today. I have a journal to show you. I've got the mermaid journal to show you, and I have a little assistant with me, and that is Lucy. Lucy is wet and has just come in from the rain and is trying to get dry, so she's determined to sit right where I'm working to get all nice and dry and warm. So hello Lucy. So I'll just try and show you this cover of the journal before I get into it. It's a design team project for Poppiness. That is Susan Taylor Brown. So I have used her very large mermaid kit, which comes in several different pieces, and it's quite huge. So you have your base pages, you've got add-ons, you've got some quotes. I've also used some images from Mrs. Cogg's Crafts, which I think adds to the concept of the mermaid, and they both work together very well. This journal was inspired by a beautiful journal done by Jibid Neary, and I will leave the link below so that you can have a look at that one. And another very inspiring journal I found online to look at was one by a lady called Wendy S. I'd love you to go over and have a look at that too, so I'll leave a link to that below, because I think she would be very appreciative of some more subbies to go over and have a visit of her channel and her beautiful journals. So okay, so this one is for Poppiness, as I said before, and I have used the mermaid kit, and I'll just run through some of the ideas that I've used on the cover of this mermaid journal. It's such a big journal, it was hard to fit in both ends. Okay, so getting into it, the cover of the journal, I have used a few layers of fabric, and I've started out, I'll show you the back so you can see where I've begun. I've used a soft linen fabric, and that is tinted in a very soft green, and then on top of that I've actually used a table napkin which has a lovely fringe on it and is tinted a sort of sea green colour as well. And I do believe I got that one in a pack from Bears and Old Lace, that lovely green trim. I've also used some fabric from Sheila from Bohodaydreams, this lovely piece of bling sari trim that she sent in one of her packs. Had a really nice sort of fishtail shape that reminded me of the Mermaid's Tale. So I used that on the cover, and it has a few little shapes that look like starfish, so that blended in very well with the theme. And I've just put an image up under the cloth, which is sort of netting, light netting, so the starfish sit in the water. This image is from Mrs. Cogg's collection. She also has a mermaid kit. I've got some little shells on the corners and lovely starfish and a pink shell on the top. I've hand stitched some sea green pearls on the bottom there, and I've also added a metal octopus with his own little blue gem and some trim, some eyelash trim. These are all hand stitched onto the fabric underneath so they won't fall off because they're quite heavy. I've got some lovely aqua trim here that has been dyed a lovely soft green colour, and under the bottom there I've got it dripping with jewels, like jewels from the cave of a mermaid. So we've got some pearls hanging off, we've got some little seashells, metal shells, and we've got some lovely green, sea green, jade and emerald coloured stones, starfish, and some actual bits of shell on the bottom there. On the side I've made a boho bead in lovely greens and blues with a heart on the bottom wrapped in wire, and it also has a little tiny mermaid and a tassel on the bottom, and another little chain with an anchor and a blue bead, and that's just hanging from a Tim Holtz ring on the top. Okay, so that's the cover.